Livers. Meanwhile, on the PGA Tour, they are midway through the Farmers Insurance Open out in La Jolla, California. It's Ryan Palmer with the lead. He is at 10 under par after a 62 yesterday, good for a two-shot lead over Brandt Snedeker, and a six-shot lead over Tiger Woods, who four-putted from 25 feet in the hole number one and settled for a 1 under par 71. Phil Mickelson missing the cut for his second straight week. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or radio.com.
Alrighty, good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed, alongside of me, Becky Alley.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Can I hear you again, Beck?
I don't know.
There you go.
There we go. Good morning, everyone.
There she is, bright and cheery as always. One of the top 1% of all loan originators in the U.S.
Yeah, present. Thank you.
There you are. Hey, Beck, I brought in some guests today. Always my Alexis Carmona from Anthony John's team. Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So great. I was in your office this week, and I always get excited to see you. She really brings the energy that I love. I don't care what age you are, if you're 50, if you're old like me, 53, you have the energy and the passion that's going to carry you a long way in this industry. And you bring Jerry Nahas in. Hey, Jerry, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Jerry, I saw you at the, Jerry. I saw you at the Christmas dinner there. We were knocking down a beer or two. And
right.
Hey, I told you, I said, Jerry, you know what? You got the great energy. You were, again, what a great presence. I like working with people, Beck, you do too,
Yeah.
that really, they're not mumbling. They know exactly what they're doing. They're proud of what they're doing. They're looking out for their customers' best interest.
Yeah, I mean, they have something to say. And I think that when you have that energy and that passion, it kind of just radiates off of your body. And you want the people that you're representing to feel that. And just like the rain outside is lame, you know what's not lame? Us.
There you go.
Anyone that's tuning in.
We always call it, when we bring Anthony John's team in, we always call it the swag show. It's really swaggy in here. So definitely give us a phone call at 248-539-9797. If you're thinking about buying a house or selling a house, you better hurry up and get going, because January's already kicked off 2020's home buying season. You guys are already busy.
Oh, yeah. I think the brand is at like 13 mil in pending transactions. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good start for your
it's
goal. You guys
insane.
have a huge goal this year also.
Yeah, we do.
So again, it doesn't seem like there's a slowdown. Of course, last year, 2019, really after Thanksgiving, the rates had burped up a little bit. They were almost 5% for a lot of situations. Clients with 5% down or less with bad credit scores, they were actually getting maybe even a little over 5%.
Yeah.
But now all the families are pretty much in the low fours. You see the low fours on the interest rate back. There's no doubt interest rates should stay low all year.
Yeah, I'm anticipating that they're going to stay pretty stable. We shouldn't hopefully not see any kind of tick up. But what they're talking about is the spring market might as well be here already. There literally was maybe a little bit of a break during that Christmas, New Year's where you're lost and you don't know what day it is. And then it all of a sudden just like slingshot right into the spring market, and you have multiple offers on homes because the inventory is a little bit low. So anything that's of quality is literally just going out real fast.
It's the truth. I think that, because the market was down in January, I even felt it. I felt it too. And I'm like, this is so creepy. I don't know if I'm supposed to be eating leftover turkey still or what. Yeah. So my clients kind of had the winter blues too. So it kind of had a slow start, but a quick refresher.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, everyone's really scaring you. Hopefully get your ducks in a row earlier. Start earlier, get organized. It's always about the credit. And if you don't have good credit, or if you have good credit but not as good as it needs to be, you might want to work on that now. If you're thinking about buying a house, Jerry, you work with a lot of buyers. If you're thinking about buying a house, sit down with the mortgage people. There's a difference between the mortgage credit report, and we're going to talk about there because FICO had an announcement this week. There's a difference between a mortgage credit report and the standard consumer credit karma thing that's out there floating around, or I know Discover Credit or whatever. I don't want to give any plugs out, but they give you your credit score.
Yeah.
That's not your mortgage credit score. That's not the real McCoy. So
I think you should repeat that part, because I feel like these are daily conversations that you have with consumers, because they don't do this every day. We do, so it's confusing. So we'll get phone calls and say, oh, well, per my Credit Karma, or, not to like throw anything, but just anything, just I have a 720. And then we pull, and coincidentally, they have a 640. And they're just not understanding why there's such a significant difference. And it's because what a mortgage, the credit report that we pull versus what you're seeing is just based off of I don't know what their algorithm is, but it's not the one that we're going to be using. So it's very important that you're not just putting your eggs in the basket based off of what is reporting on this free random thing that you're getting whenever you're getting it.
Quick question. What do you suggest potential buyers use to understand their credit instead of like maybe Credit Karma? Is there something better that they could be using?
I actually was introduced, it's called Quizzle or something like that. I have
Okay.
to, I have
I don't
to make
know
sure,
about that.
I will have to do in our break, I'll make sure that's what it's called. But I did it for myself because I wanted to see the accuracy
Yeah.
between what my actual score was. And that was within 15 points. So that's
Okay.
a bigger significance,
Okay.
or it's like more accurate in comparison to the other ones. Again, I will confirm what that was, the actual name of it. But if you're thinking about buying, my best advice is get in contact with your mortgage representative as quickly as possible. Whether you're thinking a year out, 6 months out, do not go looking for houses before you know what you're doing. It's almost like you're going to fill your plate up. You're hungry with your eyes instead of what your stomach can actually handle. So
I always tell that to my clients. You cannot go to the grocery store hungry
Yes.
without your wallet. It's
Right.
just not going to work out.
so true.
For families that always have to, maybe some certain families out there, and I have a couple of those going on now where they're able to purchase a new house without selling their existing house. And of course, Becky, as you know, they can recast the loan after they sell their house and lower their loan amount and get rid of the mortgage
What
insurance.
is a recast? Explain to them what a
Oh,
recast
okay.
is.
Well, recast. Let's just do it in round numbers here. So, if you take a mortgage out for $200,000, and you only put 5% down, you might be paying PMI. After you sell your house and you get your hands on maybe another $50,000, if your intentions all along were to put more money down and have a lower amount, you can send a $250 check in most cases. It's about $250. It does vary a little bit to us, the lender, and we'll go ahead and recast the loan. So it's different than if you just pay down the principal. If you pay down the principal, your house payment doesn't go down. So if you just send in an extra $50,000, but if you recast it, now the loan is set up on X amount of years, what the term is, and of course at that lower loan amount, so your payment's going to be way less. As you know, Becky, I always tell people if you're out there looking at a house and loan amount's about $200,000, well, what if I borrowed another $10,000? What does that mean to me as a buyer? And typically, Becky, it all depends what your rate is, but typically it's about $50 more on a 30-year amortized loan.
Yeah, for every $1,000, it's going to affect your payment between $5 and $7, give or take. So if you're like, well, I'm buying a $150,000 house, I'm going to put 5% down. What if I put an extra $1,000 down?
Right.
I don't have to look at that to know that your payment is going to adjust between $5 to $7. So you don't have to be like, I need to know what it is in $1,000 increments. Just know that with every 1,000, it's between 5 and 7. So even real estate agents, because you're going to get those calls too.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like, well, what's my house payment and what's this and what's that? And you redirect them to us. But at the same time, so you can be a well-rounded agent. It's, and they know this. I mean, so when you're with the brand, you're with educated real estate agents that are going to be able to fire off these questions and answers without even thinking about it. So if you are working with them as your real estate agent, if they're representing you, they are going to be like, hey, I can give you this. However, you do need to talk to Harvey Freed at Capital Mortgage Funding to get the accuracy of everything. I'm not a mortgage lender. I'm not going to play one on TV, but here's what I think, but confirm that with Harvey Freed.
Yeah, we definitely take that extra step. I think I called different cities. I called 5 or 6 different cities weekly, and I verify the taxes. I have no problem. Again, most of them are online, but the treasurer's office at most cities, they're usually pretty pleasant about it.
Yeah.
The girl from Brownstown did tell me yesterday, what do you mean, sir? That's online. But she went ahead and gave me the
It is
most
online.
recent, it's online, the most recent summer and winter tax bills for families out there. But Jerry, it's nice to know that if you're working with a family and sometimes someone's price range, we're using $200,000 a day. I think I got the average written, what homes sold for in 2019 was like 200. So I'll give you that information later. But Jerry, you're looking at a $200,000 house and boy, they don't want to go much over that. But that $210,000 house has a redone kitchen, has that other amenity that they're looking for, maybe the finished basement or something of that nature, and that extra bathroom, and it's worth it. Again, if $50 a month, if we're just talking about $10,000, $600 a year, that's probably a lot better than having to redo a whole kitchen or some different parts of the house.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I do is most of my buyers that are hesitant to kind of go over that $200 or $200,000 mark, what I do is I have them talk to the mortgage lender, to their lender, and kind of go over the numbers and kind of rank it and see the true value in that. Because monthly, what could that slight number, that $50 difference, can,
It
like
might
you
not
said, make
mean
a
anything.
huge
Yeah.
difference
Right.
in what you're getting for that value.
Listen, I'm going to attest to this, that I bought a house that was under my budget, knowing that I had to make some renovations. Looking back on it, I wish I maybe just would have just bumped it
Bumped
up
your
because I knew
budget.
what it was. Because
Right.
I mean, yes, my house is beautiful now. I made it exactly how we wanted it and all that. But sometimes, like, it's stressful when you're going through that whole process. So if you can get into a house that might be $10,000 over what your initial projected budget is, it might be worth it to think about, like, do you want to deal with the stress of remodeling that kitchen, or do you like the taste of the house that you're looking at and go a little bit higher and get it done, and that way you just move in and you don't, that's less you got to stress out
Right.
about.
I can completely appreciate a client that tells me, you know what, Lex, let's not kill this deal over $5,000.
There you go.
What
They
is that
know.
going to do?
They've
Right.
already lost out
Yeah.
on so many offers,
Exactly.
right? All right, we're going to show you how to buy a house. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. If you're selling, definitely give us a call, 248-539-9797. We'll be right back. All righty, I love that music. 9:45 if you're just waking up. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We're going to have sports for you. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. Would you believe we got some serious football tomorrow, playoff football, of course, divisional finals, AFC, NFC championship games, really exciting stuff. And then the Super Bowl 2 weeks from now. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. I think we got the Red Wings a little bit later tonight also here down at Little Caesars Arena, which is awesome stuff. 248-539-9797. Want to thank everyone who's listening. Again, roads are a little tough out there. Be careful. Slow it down just a little bit. Let's move off to Cheryl and Troy. Cheryl, you got a great question here. Go ahead with it. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Did we lose her? We did. No, we got her. There you are. Hey, Cheryl, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for calling in the show. So go ahead. We want to hear your question.
My husband and I are thinking of moving from the Detroit area to Lansing in the next year. We think our house will sell very quickly, but we don't know where to begin in Lansing. We don't know realtors or good areas, bad areas. I don't know where to start. We need to do some homework ahead of time, but I'm not sure what to do.
Well, I think, and then Matt, I'll let you definitely jump in here on this one, but there's no doubt that once you probably make a few calls, look at some of the areas, and I think you're probably going to have to interview. There's no reason why the first agent you have to sign with. I think it would probably be an interview type process where one day you go up there and you set it up where you're going to meet 2 or 3 different agents and have them take you out to the homes, and either one of them is going to show you a house you like or you're going to feel that vibe. And Matt, you're looking like you're going to say,
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it? I just don't think you sign up with the first person.
Absolutely. And, you know, REMAX, we are actually the largest real estate company, not only in Southeast Michigan, but worldwide. We outsell every other company 2-to-1. So, Cheryl, I would be happy to speak with you off air and maybe introduce you to a few of our agents up in Lansing. Have the same conversation that Harvey was saying and say, hey, explain your situation to a few of these Lansing agents. Test out which one you feel most comfortable with, and then maybe make a day trip on a Saturday, hit a couple of offices, feel if who you vibe with. I mean, buying a house, you're essentially just spending afternoons with people, so you want to find someone that
you click with.
that you don't mind spending afternoon with, and that you feel that has the knowledge of the market.
And that
Cheryl,
listens.
I think getting a warm referral is the best way to go. And if Matt could help you out, introduce you to a couple people, and then it's up to you. But getting a referral to somebody who's experienced by somebody who's experienced, I
All righty, welcome back to the show. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We are powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Man,
there you go, I got it all
Harvey,
out.
you're just like, it's like natural to you now.
I still like write it, but I think I got it memorized now.
I would have to write it down.
Got Anthony John's team in here, Lexi Carmona. Of course,
Hello.
everyone knows her. She's styling and
Yeah, with her Gucci ring, shoe.
Okay.
Jerry,
Call me out, call
and
me
Jerry Nahas, one of my favorite guys I met most recently. Just Jerry, we have a
you.
guy in our office, Sam Mansour. He's just warm and cozy and fuzzy, and I
he
think you're
is
like one of
literally-
those guys.
He really is. I
Yes.
love him. I love Jerry.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, and Sam in our office, he is probably the most cutest human I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
he's such a
nice.
nice guy,
These are people I want to work with,
Yeah.
anyways.
for sure.
We take your calls all morning long up until 10 o'clock. Again, if you're buying or selling a house, 248-539-9797. Something that still comes up, and it always scares me every year, the ball changes, and you're just like, how are these bad buyers still out there? Like, are they not listening to the radio show? Are they not doing their homework? But Beck, I know you were working on one rejected by 2 other companies, local companies, big companies. If I say them, I'll probably get sued. I won't say it. And we're getting someone a mortgage now, aren't we?
Yes, it has been right from the get-go. I let everyone know that this is going to be hard. There's a reason why other people cannot do it.
Right.
But we have the experience. I've been doing this a really long time, 16 years, and the importance is you can't put a price on experience. So when you're stepping in third in line, obviously everyone's emotions are extremely high. Patience is out the door. So it's important to work with a professional that can bring everyone back home and just know that I identify the problems. I let everyone know what the expectations are. Calling me and asking if we're going to close in 10 days, it's not going to happen. But we are going to be able to get this wrapped up by the end of the month, and I'm really excited about it.
That's really cool. Could you imagine the family's completely rejected by 2 lenders? Hey, you real estate agents, we can't not wait. If they're already rejected twice and we're going to get you a paycheck and you wait 30 days for it, maybe. I don't know. It happens.
wait.
It happens.
I have an action plan. I'll wait.
Yeah, and everyone's involved. And it's important is communication is key. So if you're asking me what's going on with the transaction, then that means that me and my team, we're not doing our job. So we're going to constantly be letting you know what's going on, because obviously the less time that you as an agent are filtering calls as far as from your buyer, what's happening, that means that you're on the phone on your next transaction or you're able to deal with the real estate side of things. So we think it's very important. Harvey's very speed of response as well. We're very big on what's going on and setting those proper expectations up front, even on a difficult transaction. So obviously we all want layups, but sometimes they're not. But we're not afraid to take on those more difficult cases.
Why not?
Because it's so... obviously, everyone gets in the business for different reasons, but when you are at the closing table and everyone is just so excited to be there, you're looking at them, it's their first time buying a home, or if it's their 5th time buying a home, they want that house so bad. And when you're able to kind of bring all the parties together and cross that finish line, it's euphoric. It's very exciting to be a part of that.
There's no doubt, though, you got to have some very patient sellers in that case. And again, maybe their situation was that they're able to, the house they were buying, maybe they were going to rent. Now they're staying in their home. They might be able to delay their other transaction, but there does hold up a lot of other families. Lex, you run into this quite often.
Contingencies?
Contingencies,
Oh, yeah.
people not closing on time, that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
people-
Tell us a little bit. It's just about that communication, or what
I
else?
love a good update. Just give me an update, because you're dealing with a client. You're already a messenger in between multiple parties. You don't want to give the wrong message, and then because you're waiting for a communication from someone else, so you decide to give them a little bit, and then it's wrong, or something's different, and they're like, "Well, you just told me this," and
Right.
it's like, I was just trying to fill the gap, So communication is seriously so important.
Yes.
A good lender every Tuesday or Thursday, give me something.
Yes,
Please.
Throw me a bone. Let me know what's going on. Carrier pigeon, whatever.
Right.
Email always works too. Believe it or not, the last couple of days, the rates were pretty interesting. There's an epidemic going around across the world. I guess in China, they've got a pretty big scare. It's the biggest scare, virus or whatever this is, epidemic since SARS in 2013. But believe it or not, it sort of could weigh on the financial markets. Things like this can weigh on the financial, a deadly virus that could knock us all out. Yeah, it could weigh on
That's scary.
the
Way to bring
markets
the
a little
room
bit.
down.
I know. I just got really sad.
I'm already fighting the sniffles here for a couple of weeks. I don't need a deadly virus. But again, just in regards to mortgage rates, this year there's an election. There's some crazy stuff going on. Of course, if you watch what's going on locally here in the United States with the possible impeachment and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But these things do affect the marketplace. And that's why, again, we don't feel like rates this year particularly will go up dramatically, but why not take advantage of some things now? If they happen to drop a little bit and you bought a house, okay, you can look at it maybe later in the year to see if you can refinance it, maybe remove the mortgage insurance. This year, and of course last year, we're expecting similar numbers to last year, 6 to 7% appreciation. You just can't rent anymore, Jerry. People are throwing their money out the window. On the way in this morning, a client, I'm going to meet him next Saturday, he said he's been paying for 7 years, $1,400 a month. Man, that sort of shook me up. That's a lot of money to throw out the window and rent.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we have a strong start to the year. So a lot of buyers have taken advantage of the interest rates that are currently going on right now. But we also have those buyers that are kind of scared and are waiting for the springtime. But what could happen is when you're waiting for the springtime or the summertime, you're going to run into a lot of competition. And when you run into a lot of competition, what happens is it could drive the price up. And you don't know what the interest rates are going to be in the summertime. And it can make it very difficult to get the home that you really want. So when you run into those kind of competitions, it can make it very difficult for you. But right now, we definitely had a strong start to the year.
Right.
Hopefully, more buyers are going to jump on the wagon right now and make those purchases. Because inventory is still a little low, it's still a little bit of a seller's market. But at the same time, you still have that opportunity to get the home that you really want.
Are there any price ranges that you're finding that where the inventory isn't low and there's a plethora of homes out there to purchase? Is there any price range that's
Like,
maybe
is it like
got
the
it?
400,000
Is
price
it
range?
plus?
Yeah,
Is that-
I feel like anywhere from 400 to 600. Those kind of move slower, anyways.
Yeah.
It depends, just because new construction.
Right.
That's their number one competitor. So
Okay.
you do have some options when it comes to that price point, but how many people are actually searching in that price point? You know, you come across like 1 to 2 every so often.
Like, people want to see that $1 million house, but you're like, let me see your pre-approval.
Yes, exactly.
I mean,
Proof of
people are
funds.
nosy, unfortunately, sometimes, but
I was browsing your guys' listings yesterday. I saw 2 dynamic houses in Shelby Township. You guys had 2 awesome, bigger homes in Shelby on the website.
Okay.
But I also saw one where I wrote it down. I saw a great house in was it Madison Heights? I saw an 1,800 square foot in Madison Heights for like $225,000. That's an up and coming city.
It is. A lot of people are investing in that area as well. So that whole little corridor of Madison Heights, Royal Oak, Berkeley, Clawson.
well, it's almost like it's spilling over because Berkeley's, the price point is just so crazy right now.
Yeah.
So then it's just kind of trickling
Keeps
down. Like
moving and
yes.
moving, the migration pattern for sure.
All
Yeah.
right, we'd love to hear from you this morning. 248-539-9797. Join the conversation. It's a lot of fun. Great energy always in the room. Maybe I'm, except for me, perhaps.
No, stop
but
it.
Not too bad. But we'll make it fun. If you want to buy a house.
Deadly virus.
Talk about deadly viruses. Hey, Lex, talk to me a little bit about listing your home. There's no doubt when I was looking at the pictures of these homes that you guys had on the market, I mean, they were ready to go. They were staged.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were walls were painted. Is that you guys coaching people on these listings? What really, tell me about a good listing. What does it look like?
So, I mean, we do coach our sellers a little bit if it's necessary, but at the same time, we have such a good photographer. Kara Missig is amazing, and she will stay with that seller for 3 to 4 hours if she has to
That's
get
really
the
long
right
time,
Oh my
actually,
gosh,
for
yes.
photos.
And she is long exposure. She takes like 4 shots of the same angle and gets everything, makes the client really happy, stays with them, talks them through, moves stuff for them out of the way and moves it back, builds that relationship. So you're getting a really dynamic experience just with the professional photography.
Yeah, photos are literally everything. I mean, when you're coasting online, because everyone starts initially online, most people anyway.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at a house that has great photos, that's going to get that traffic going, because you can literally make something out of nothing with a good photo sometimes.
I can't tell you how many times I've skipped showing a home because of photos.
It look like it
You're
had
just
a
like, I
China
can't go
plague
there.
in there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no.
And sometimes you'll see homes that
great
are
homes.
higher priced homes that are just the photography has been taken by a cell phone or something.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen
and
it.
it's just bad quality, terrible angles, which definitely could hurt in getting buyers to want to take a look at those homes.
Yeah.
But going back to talk about the listings, the easiest advice that I give to my sellers is to declutter.
Yes.
Because the most important thing is, your home could be updated, looking great, and could be in excellent condition, but you just have so
So many
around.
things, so many
yeah.
things, so many
So
things.
declutter is the easiest and the best way to have your home shown. And then obviously there's other little things that we advise our sellers to do, but that's the easiest and the fastest way.
We won't give out all the secrets today. You're
Yeah.
going to have
Yeah.
to call Lexi and the whole team there at Anthony John Real Estate for sure to definitely see what you can do to get your house sold. There's a big difference between photography. Of course, the videos are out there now. Staging a home, making it clean.
It's
It
a
needs
service.
to smell good.
It's the service, though. I mean, that's what, like, so anyone that's just listening, I mean, they're talking about the service that they're going to provide you as a seller to when you sign a contract with them to list their house, you need to listen to the professionals. What they're describing is what they're going to do to get you your accepted offer from start to finish as quickly as
As
possible.
quickly as possible. Exactly.
All right, we're up against our second break of the day here, 9:26. If you're just driving around town, a little bit better than last Saturday out there for sure. All right, keep it here on 97.1 The Tick. When we come back, all your calls, 248-539-9797. All right, welcome back to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, 9:15. If you're just joining us, yeah, the roads are nasty, no doubt about that, as you know.
Yeah, be careful driving out there. It's a little bit crazy out there. And you know what it is if you're listening? It's never you. It's always the person that's in front of you or coming at you. It's never you. Be careful. Just keep your head on a swivel and see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't have one of those great cars in the snow here, but
How do you still have a real
I have
wheel
no
drive?
idea.
That's like back in the
I don't
60s,
know.
man.
I don't know.
My
next car
Mustang
will be
was. It was awful driving
Good.
in the snow back
Oh,
in the
my
day.
God.
Yeah.
But I thought your helicopter would just drop you off and pick you back
I'm a
up.
Detroit guy. My next car will be a Dodge Charger or something cool like that.
Why not?
Well, I have
There
to
you
give
go.
props. My car was a champ. I mean, I love it. It was a total champ. So
All right. Well, if you're not from Michigan, well, anyways, we're taking it on the chin pretty good this morning here.
It's
7
about
inches.
time.
point.
It's January 18th. Where do
Yeah.
we live? I was getting worried.
Hey, the snow, the Alpine Valleys, your Mount Brighton, your
Holly.
Holly, you know them all. Pine Knob. They're
Sure,
gonna
Pine Knob.
Enjoy the day out there. We've got Matt Bush in with us, and if you want to join our mortgage real estate show here, definitely give us a call, 248-539-9797. We are sponsored by Capital Mortgage Funding and always powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, Equal Housing Lender. Now we got that out of the way.
Thank you.
Definitely give us a phone call. Yeah, we always doing our work here. I can't say we have everyone in the office today, Harry, but I know we have some souls in
Of course
there.
we have some people in the
We
office
have some
today.
people there. If you need that approval letter, if you're still out there, I saw a couple on Facebook already. It's a showing day, Matt. This is a
Absolutely.
day that families have been excited for. And I wrote it down last night. They came out with the information that I couldn't believe it. January is getting to be a very popular month to show houses. They said they went back and did the analysis on it. January was the second most showed houses. They had many people hitting them up. That was from Realtor.com. Matt, we've been busy since the year started.
Yeah, I haven't stopped since November. I'm not one of those and associates, so when you call me, you get me. You're not going to get pushed off to somebody. I'm not a part of a team. I'm the shower. I'm the one that's going to negotiate for you. I'm going to answer your phone, 6 a.m. to whenever p.m. So I haven't stopped since, like I said, October. January is amazing because everybody got all these gift letters from their or gifts rather, financial, from aunts, uncles, cousins, parents. So now they have all of this money in their pocket and it's beginning to burn a hole.
Wait a minute. I got to hit up my relatives. If their relatives giving people money,
Yeah.
I better make some calls.
well, and even
bigger
if you're a
family.
little short in a second here, you're getting tax refunds.
Absolutely. So you've got 2 and 2 together. So
Yeah.
you get $2,000 maybe from your mom or your dad over Christmas, and then you start thinking, what can I do with this money? So you contact a realtor, you look at a couple of houses, you start the process, and then by the time you're ready to pull the trigger, you've gotten your tax refund. So you've
Yes.
got $5,500 in your pocket. That's more than enough in a lot of circumstances on a first-time home buy. To put down, maybe we'll negotiate some concessions to reduce your cost to close.
Or you could qualify for down payment assistance possibly.
Yeah,
There's a
and-
lot of ways to get it done.
February traditionally has the least amount of houses on the market too. That's why you see so many people looking in January. Is there's a dip in inventory because people have the false idea that they're only going to sell their houses in March through September.
Yeah, so,
So
man, I
there's
can
that
tell
kind
you,
of
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. 9:30. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We're in our 20th year here on 97.1. Want to thank all the listeners. More importantly, if you're thinking about buying a house or getting your house listed the right way with the real professionals, definitely give us a call. 248-539-9797. Got some great guys in here, of course. Anthony John's team, Luxury Real Estate. They work all 5 counties, the finest reputation around. I work with a lot of people. I love going to that office. I just like all the mojo that's going on in there. You guys are bringing it. You know, I work with a lot of people. Oh, they got more than that. They got Jerry Nahas too here, of course.
Yes,
so
Jerry.
Really appreciate all the guys. Hey, a little bit of talk real quick. If you're out there thinking about buying a house and you got some bruised credit, FICO, the Fair Isaac Credit Reporting Company, they wanted to announce to everyone, hey, we're going to come up with, as you said, Beck, easily said, algorithms here.
Yes,
I can't say algorithm, but there you go.
Sounds cool.
But they're changing their model, and it's going to make it so if you have been paying all your debts on time, well, congratulations. 35% of your credit score is determined upon your timeliness as being able to repay the loan. 35%. Now, people always call me, hey, Harvey, what do I do for my credit? How about paying your bills on time for starters?
Hey.
Not bad. But
My head just
also,
exploded.
30% utilization. So that's another thing that we talk about with families out there. If you got a $5,000 credit limit on your Capital One something Visa, well, yeah, make the balance down underneath as low as possible. I mean, make it zero if you're buying a house. And then when your loan officer runs the credit report, it'll be zero. You'll have all of that. But definitely bring it down to at least 30% of that max.
Okay, because it used to
That's
be
the key.
at least 43% you'd want your balance to be at. So, I mean, if they're changing it up where they want 30, that's going to be, sometimes it might be a little bit more difficult for your average consumer. So just keep that in mind where, you have these credit cards, you're not using it to live off of. So if you're trying to get the maximum points and you don't trust yourself, right? Because everyone knows what you can do and what you can't do. So use it for gas, pay it off, buy a shirt, pay it off. Something that we're talking about in the beginning of the show was what kind of applications can you use that will give you a little bit more accurate idea of what your scores are versus some of these other items that have been used. And I had personal experience. It was in fact called Quizzle. So I just looked at it.
Stop plugging them, please.
I'm just saying it's what it was.
You like saying that. You just like saying Quizzle.
It has been sold off, but to another, it still exists, but their accuracy. So if you do want to tap into a free credit report, that is a little bit more accurate.
Also, free annual creditreport.com. I think it's just like that. You can punch it in, and the government actually, it's the government side. They allow you one free credit report, and this is more of the real McCoy. This isn't the credit things, the consumer credit reports.
Yeah, so if I would advise, if anything, if you're going to do anything, like take advantage of that one free credit report that you actually can get from TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, because those are going to be the actual true, nothing shaded on it. Those are going to be your actual numbers. So if you're thinking about buying a house and you want to get an idea without actually having your credit pulled, I would advise just call them directly. But at the same time, a mortgage inquiry is different than I'm going to Lowe's or Home Depot and I want you to get a free 0% credit card. So the effect on your actual credit as that inquiry is totally different. So don't let that shade you from actually actually inquiring about a mortgage approval.
I am happy you said that because there's so many clients out there. I want to wait until I find the perfect house because they're going to pull my credit and this and that. I'm like, listen, you're shopping. You're shopping around. You need to know right now.
Yes.
Because if you start looking and you get your hopes up, you love this house and you're like, $500 away from your income, debt to income ratio, you can't get the house.
Yes. And that's, what she's saying is so accurate. Is everyone thinks that your credit's going to tank 10 points or 15 points, and that's not true. It's not true at all. The other thing is collections. Try to collect. The collections, they do affect your credit. Now, is a collection from a medical going to keep you from obtaining a mortgage? Absolutely not. It's not going to keep you from getting a mortgage. However, I have seen medical collections as little as $25 affect someone's credit by 100 points. Ooh. So, talk to us, call us at Capital Mortgage Funding. We're going to identify the issues and don't focus on the things that aren't going to give you the maximum points. We can hold your hand. We can life coach you. We are trained. We know what we're doing. And so if you think or don't think that your credit might not be where it is, call us. We will help you.
That's great stuff. Just to wrap up the credit thing, 5 factors that determine your credit score is that utilization, of course, your payment history, how long you've had these accounts open, the credit mix, and then having maybe too many inquiries. Again, if you're shopping for a car and appliances the same day and you've got about 20 inquiries, you could start seeing a little effect to your credit score. It could drop a little bit. The families with great credit, 760 above, they never even bring up the question.
Right.
You either pay your bills on time, you never have an issue, or you might have some issues that you need to clean up. So check it out again.
What if you're somebody that has credit and you always pay everything off on time, but you want to make it go higher.
Yeah.
How do you make it go higher?
Well, it depends on where they're at. I mean, if really you lose, you're no longer having a negative impact on your score as far as, I mean, a negative impact on rate as long as you're above a 760. So you can have an 800, a 780, and that's fine. But 760, I believe, is the maximum where you're no longer going to have these hits that are going to be a little bit of a change in the interest rate.
So how do you get that up? Maybe a lot of our families out there, including you, Lex, I don't know your situation, but maybe picking up another credit card and showing, maybe it's just a department store or something. And again, as we mentioned earlier, they give you a $2,000 limit. You buy a couple $100 worth of stuff, maybe your gas that month. You pay it off at the end of the month. There's another good reporting, thing you'll have in there, a good reporting line at least.
The thing is that there's no easy answer for that because everyone is different. So it's just a matter of giving us a call. We're going to look at it and we can identify what specifically, because what you have to do is going to be different than what Jerry has to do. So everyone is different, just like every loan's different, just like every buyer and seller is different. You know, it's always unique and you never really know what that algorithm is. But ideally, 2 credit cards under 30%, like Harvey was saying, an installment loan, which would be a car, and a mortgage. That would be the ideal credit portfolio.
Alrighty, guys. Hey, renters continue to be on the short end of the stick. That's right. We're mortgage people. We're real estate agents in here. We want to get you a house. But, I mean, across the country, rates rose 91% in the country's biggest markets, according to Rent Cafe. They checked this stuff out. Yeah, rent is just under $1,500 as a national average. You can get a sweet house for $1,500. I mean, there's no reason to be paying someone else's. But here's the kicker that really caught my eye. Nationally, it's a $500 increase, 33% higher than just a decade ago. So, okay, if you don't buy a house and you're 25, when you're 35, that house could be 33%, that rent could be up 33%, could be up another $500. Now you're looking to rent that 1,500 square foot home. It's $2,000. Well, you could have already bought a $300,000-$400,000 house.
A little bit of insight. I run into clients constantly that have to double pay their rent in order to buy a house. It's constant. So the apartment complexes, they don't make it easy to buy a house. They really don't. They send you papers 4 months before your lease expires, asking you to renew it. If you don't renew it by a certain time, guess what? It's $100 more, and then they keep sending it to you, $100 more. Next thing you know, you're like, how do I give my 60-day notice or 90-day notice? This is so far in advance, and I could be homeless. I don't want to go month to month. So people double pay because that way they can do the transition, and they know that they're secured with a home purchase.
Right.
All right, read those leases. Hard. Yeah, definitely. And read those leases. Again, if you are in that situation, but if you think you're staying here, I mean, that's the real thing. If you're not going anywhere, Jerry, you got to become a homeowner. What do you feel, Jerry? And this is sort of you guys can kick this question around. What do you guys feel like clients need to know more of? Truly, you meet someone, even if they have an approval letter and you're first time showing them a house, what do they need to know? What more do they need to know? I mean, they need to know everything, but what else do they need to know a little bit more of?
Well, if they already have a pre-approval in hand, they definitely need to know, what the criteria is that they're looking for. What location are they looking for? How many, square footage that they need? How many bedrooms do they need? Those basic information that kind of helps us kind of guide their search. Not only that, they need to know that they are comfortable with the payment that they will be receiving with their pre-approval. Just because you're qualified for a certain amount of money, you may not be comfortable with that payment monthly. So they need to have a full understanding of what that payment will look like, in addition to the escrows, whether it's the taxes and the HOA. And I think that's one of the problems that some of my buyers run into is, they'll look at a detached condo, but not really take into effect that monthly HOA.
Right.
And that's something they need to really focus in on and have a better understanding of, so that way they're a comfortable buyer as well.
At the end of the day, it always comes down to education with your client. It really does. No matter what type of client it is, the client that knows everything, you still have to educate them to let them know you don't.
Yeah.
Because I am a professional, and if you trust me, we can get to the end game that you want.
Right.
Whether they don't know anything, okay, we need to educate you until you do know what you need to know.
Yeah. It's that buyer confidence. And what Jerry said, he made up a valid point, but not all pre-approvals are equal.
Exactly.
Right? So when you're talking with us at Capital Mortgage Funding, Harvey, myself, we're going to break down that payment, and I can say, okay, you can qualify for $300,000 on paper. It looks good, but this is your payment. Are you comfortable with that? And that's literally something I say every single time, because you want to be married to your spouse or your family, not your house payment. You want to be able to do and live your life and do whatever you want to do. And when you're saying HOA, that's homeowners association. So if you buy a condo, there's a $250 fee, for example, that's tacked on because there's certain amenities that come with that property. Or even if it's not an attached condo where you think of a visually, it's like an apartment building, right? There's subdivisions that have maintenance fees, also association dues, because again, there's different amenities that come with it. They might have a pool or whatever it comes on it. So you need to know what house you're looking at, have these conversations, get the right team around you so we can have those conversations with you as far as what your payment's going to be.
The kicker with condos
Yeah.
and the HOAs too, the fees, those can always be reassessed and change.
Yeah.
And buyers don't know this. They don't know that they're about to purchase a condo that is about to have all new roofs.
There you go,
So
and
your
a brand
payment-
new
That's a big
roads
thing.
and
Yeah,
roofs
yes.
We need to
and
tack on that again.
assessments.
Yes.
Yeah, pre-voted on.
It's already voted. You don't
Yeah.
even know it. You
You don't
move
even know
in,
it.
and then all of a sudden your association fee goes up, or they need $10,000 more out of your pocket. All right, when we come back, I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about some buyers' needs and things that you're looking for. Association fees means buying power. When we come back, we're going to touch on that. 248-539-9797. Keep it here. Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, Harry Glanz.
Morning, Harv. We have a wonderful morning out there. Finally, it's January 18th and winter hits Michigan. Now, I could deal with this every year. I know all you outdoors people, snowmobilers, everything like that.
Oh, they're digging it.
You want this in August, September, October, but January 18th, it's crazy outside. Everybody be safe driving in. If you don't have to go anywhere, you're going to hear this all day. Don't go anywhere, but we made it in, and look who's with us.
Hey, we got everyone with us. We got Lisa Lawson, of course, from our
Morning.
office. Great originator. Lisa, you're awesome.
The best. The Google of the office.
Yeah, the Google of the
She's
office.
Google.
She brings in Matt Bush, Remax First, from all around Southeast Michigan. Matt, you're
Six
awesome. Great to
offices,
see you.
Absolutely. It's awesome. Thanks for having me back on.
So Matt's really good on the radio. We've had him on before. He came to the office. We did a couple promos.
Yep.
Lisa Lawson, you've been doing business with Matt Bush for a long time. And there are reasons that you guys have a partnership, and the reasons are?
Actually, I think Matt would probably explain that better.
Yeah. So I was.
Matt will
I
tell you
was
the
in-
story how we met.
I was
Yeah.
actually in title before I got into real estate, and I did some work with Lisa, and I just found her to be a true agent, someone that I really liked working with. And I actually had her do my mortgage on my home. So when I talk to people, I don't often refer business, but I say, hey, this is who I used for my mortgage. I think that's a better vote of confidence or referral than anybody.
Right.
And, Lisa and I have just remained friends, and we have a great book of business together. It's like a tennis match between Lisa and I. We send each other business, and then I know that when I send somebody to Lisa, everything's going to be taken care of. I know that there's not going to be any issues anywhere in the process. So
Well, a little pat on the back.
And
I mean,
same for Matt. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
had
look-
people who have been looking for homes for a very long period of time and then gave up for a while and decided to start the look again. And I said, I got the guy for you. Call Matt. And we have a client, Lynn, who, she'll rave and rave about what Matt's done for her and found the perfect house. And
It's
been
almost
great.
all the agents we have come on here. Of course, they have,
Right.
they're just a pleasure to work with. And the knowledge that they bring to the table, that's what I'm talking about. Matt, what I'm excited about whenever I talk about business with you, we're always talking about Detroit.
Yeah.
And I know you're down there a lot. I was
down there
I was
yesterday.
looking at all the homes that are for sale. I mean, we're a Metro Detroit. Detroit's our major city. It's fun. The city's coming back. You're doing a lot of business there. Yeah, there's a lot to know about all these different subdivisions, all the different areas. We were yelling them all out at the office the other day. And there are these unbelievable pockets, but there's still some things to buyer beware. And of course, we see so many of our friends going out there and buying these homes or rehabbing them, a lot of the house flippers. I saw one last night. I said, I got to have it. I got to have it. The street looked a little questionable. You got to really have education behind yourself if you're going to make that move to the city.
Yeah, you got to know that if you're going to flip in a up and coming neighborhood, you might be the first one on the block. So you want to do it the right way. A lot of people that I work with are buying multiple houses on the same block to kind of insulate themselves. Also, if you're sinking a bunch of cash into these houses, we're not going to get a mortgage on these houses. So when you buy 2 or 3 of them, then you have sales comps as well. So you can establish a neighborhood. So,
Smart way to
if
do
you
it.
throw $80,000 into a house and
All righty, welcome back. We're in our last little 15 minutes here. We're going to have sports all day long here. Pat Caputo coming up with them at 10 o'clock. Maybe what else we got going on tonight? I don't know. I'm looking here at the producers booth. They're like, I don't know. We'll come up with something, guys. You can jump in anytime if you got some sports or something.
Sports, and sports. That's all you need to know.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Sports.
We'll keep it here. After we tell you how to get your man cave all squared away or your woman cave.
I'm finishing my
making?
basement. I'm making a beautiful.
What do we call it if it's a woman? It's not a man cave. It's a woman
she-shed.
cave.
Yeah, it's a palace. It's a queen. It's a palace.
It's a lounge.
It's so cool. It's gonna be so cool.
Hey,
Shout
guys.
out to El Custom again. He does a great job.
All right, finally we get a call here to kick things off this morning. 248-539-9797. Let's move out to Novi and Carl. Carl, thanks for calling in this morning. If we got you up. And can we go to the caller? There he is. All right. Hey, Carl, good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
What's going on?
My question is, I'm looking to retire here shortly, and we want to buy a winter condo down south. And am I going to be pressured to try to get this done before I retire, or is it all right to wait after I retire to purchase that? And our credit is excellent. I just didn't know if I should go ahead and try to get this thing done before I retire.
Well, it just depends on when you're actually planning on retiring. To my knowledge, that I think that your Social Security benefits don't kick in instantaneously. So,
pension and that.
Yeah, pension. Yeah. So I don't know what kind of lag time you're going to have, but obviously, if you're trying to put a mortgage on a new home wherever it's at, you're going to need to be able to back that financial. So whether you're deciding to do it now and you're going to be employed for the next 6 months and then you're retiring, I don't know what your actual game plan is, but if you're wanting to wait, there's no rush, well then you're going to need to wait till your Social Security benefits are able to be verifiable.
The first thing that also came to my mind, Carl, was, these home prices keep going up, just even over the last 5 years. Florida's one of the states, obviously, Arizona, Las Vegas, California. There's no end to it. And I was wondering if just pure dollars, maybe buying sooner than later makes sense for you. Potentially, Carl, I don't know if you'd want to buy a place down there and then rent it out or, when you're not using it. But, like Becky said, if your financials are in order and they might not be after you retire, maybe it's better to do it now.
Yeah, that's true.
2 things to worry about. You got any thoughts on this, Lexi?
Actually, I do. I ran into a situation where I had 2 people. They were both retired. And they wanted to not have to sell in order to purchase.
Okay.
But they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't want to. And they were off by their income by $400.
Okay.
So we didn't end up closing. But it's because, maybe it's because they retired, and
a little bit too soon.
A little bit too soon. Maybe, I don't know. But if they could have kept their financial, their job for a little bit longer and bought the condo, they wouldn't have had to potentially have to sell in order to purchase.
Just a matter of what those numbers are. Carl, you can sit down with us for free. I'm going to call you after the show, and there's no obligation at all. You sit down with qualified people, whether it be any of us here, and we can go over all those numbers for you and maybe just a little bit more knowledge on it. It'll give you, open the door to something.
Carl, what's the time frame that you are thinking? Because we didn't even get into that part. When are you thinking you want to buy or, in the next month, or what's your...
Well, I'm going to retire. April 1st is my day I'm going to retire.
Okay.
So, I got between now and then if I want to do it beforehand or I can do it after.
Okay, so I the realistic time frame, if you're planning on for sure, depending on when your last day on your job is, it does seem like you're going to probably have to wait till those Social Security benefits do kick in because we're already January. Then you have a 30-day transaction depending on when you find the house. So we'll definitely, Harvey will reach out to you and we can kind of maybe set that timeline as far as your goals and kind of go from there.
Hey, Carl, what are you thinking? Where in Florida are you thinking? I'm just curious.
Fort Myers area.
Love it. West is best. I like Florida. I like the west coast of Florida for sure. Congratulations. Maybe I'll see you down there in 20 years.
Yeah, I like the Gulf Coast a lot better.
Me too. More of a Sarasota guy, but that's okay. Fort Myers is good people. Thanks, Carl. We'll follow up with you.
For taking my call.
Well, thank you. We love it. Thank you for the input. All right. Hey, if you're thinking about buying a place, even a second home, give us a call. Capital Mortgage Funding. Again, it costs us nothing. I'm licensed in Florida, so it's a piece of cake to sit down. Yeah, you too, Beck. And we know some people down there, too. You can get hooked up with some great real estate agents here that'll actually call down there, make a few calls, and all it takes is them not to answer the phone one time, and they don't get the referral. And that's key, that if you like the Midwest vibe, find someone up here you can trust. You guys have relationships across the United States where you can
Definitely.
sort of scope it out a little bit. But so often I'll talk with someone and then all of a sudden they get a real estate agent down in Florida. It's their first year, no qualifications. They don't know the area. They don't know the ins and outs and things that we're talking about that are really impactful today, such as things like assessments and things like that can change. And again, if it could be their first rodeo, you just don't want to work with unqualified people. Jerry, we see that all the time in our industry. A lot of great new agents have been in over the last couple of years. But I got to tell you, I was in an office this week. I hope they don't kick me out next week. I was a little worried. There's some things going on. I'm like, how long is your... They had the one lady, and again, no names. She's not listening. I told her to listen to the show. I don't think she said her deal was 3 or 4 months on a $95,000 Mishtalo with an out-of-state lender. It's not. Then all of a sudden, we made the magical phone call Thursday. It's a funny thing. So I followed up yesterday. I said, hey, I want the client. Because I'm going to quickly find out if this buyer is legit. Can they really buy?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that out-of-state lender called them, and now everything's good. Not everything is good. It's not good at all. In fact, it's not good because what's going to happen after February is now things are expiring. There's a city cert involved. Now the buyers have to pay the new city cert. Again, you just have nice old ladies trying to sell a house for $95,000. It's been 4 months.
Yeah.
Real estate agents can't sleep at night either. If you're involved with some bad transaction, and again, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault somebody gave a bogus approval letter and the client has $0 to their name or they don't qualify for the mortgage.
Yeah,
we still see it.
You got to stop kicking the can down the road. At some point in time, someone's got to talk to someone who's got to talk to somebody to say, what is happening? Why is this taking so long? And again, you can't put a price on experience.
Right.
You cannot.
I always call the lender if I'm working with a buyer and they are using a lender I've never used before. I'm directly calling this lender and asking them about everything I possibly can just to understand how they approve them. Did we do desktop underwriting? What's going on? What did we find?
Where are they in the process?
Right.
Yeah.
You just said something that not even knows. You just said desktop underwriting. Did the file
You
go
wanna know
through
why?
the underwriting? You just said something. Who told you that? Who taught you that? Don't say it.
She said
Someone
that
taught
because
you
she
that.
is a professional, and so is Jerry here. They know what they're
Definitely.
doing. They know how to represent their clients.
Yeah.
That's what you're hearing right now
Well,
is experience.
We care
Yes.
about their buying power because it saves everybody so much time. If I'm taking out 10 buyers, why would I spend 40 hours a week with one that didn't get approved properly?
Right. And that's just taking away from the other
My really
properly
serious
qualified buyers.
Clients, yes.
All right, let me throw this out there. I got a little bit of social stuff out there. There's a chili fest going on in Port Huron. I don't know. I had it out on my Facebook page. Hey, a little shout out to our folks up
Chili,
in...
I'll go get a bowl.
Yeah, right. Our folks in Port Huron, Lexington area up there, if you're listening in, give us a call, 248-539-9797. Be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding all week long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. One more tough topic before we get out of here, guys. Inspections. Hey, most of the homes out there, guys, not the new constructions, most of the homes out there, because we live in people have been here. We've been building cars here since early 1900s, maybe even before that. These are older homes. They need some work. What inspections of older home issues? In most cases, sewer line, electrical, roof, peeling paint. You guys, tell me a little about inspections. How you feel after the inspection's done, that negotiation after, what's allowed, what's not. Give me your thoughts on it.
Well, first, new constructions should get an inspection.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Everything should.
People have had cabinets fall off completely, off their wall.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's, if you had your inspection period, you might have known. But things I find in inspections that are pretty rough, sometimes you're buying an older home, you're dealing with a Michigan basement, you got old boilers, things that scare lenders, underwriters, things like that. But peeling paint, that could be a red flag if you're FHA or VA buyer. There's a lot of little things, railings, steps, sidewalk cracks.
Fire detectors, smoke
Yeah,
detectors.
smoke detectors.
Hey, you guys, all these older homes, too, the sewer lines are all jammed up. We're
Yeah.
noticing that. It's only about $150 or so to get a camera down there. A lot of services. You can, your real estate agent should have somebody. If not, check out the, check it out, punch in and go. I almost said
A lot
yellow
of people
pages.
forget about
I said
that.
the yellow pages.
A
What
lot
are
of
those?
people don't realize that they should get a sewer scope. And then next thing you know, their toilet is backing up from their basement.
Oh, my God.
I
The
think
worst.
every time a client has mentioned to me, we had the conversation, hey, you getting that sewer line inspected? Yeah, I think it's been a problem.
There's always tree roots.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, definitely.
For the most part.
Yeah.
In some areas more than
Yeah.
others, definitely. But what it could save you thousands of dollars by just doing that quick
Yeah.
little test.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry, who represents a lot of buyers out there. Jerry Nyhuis, thanks for coming on, Jerry. You're
Definitely.
awesome.
Thanks for
Love you,
having
man.
me.
All right, we'll get Jerry back here for sure. Alexis Carmona, one of my faves out there.
I love
hey,
coming.
we're going to have to start doing some business here, but I love
I
seeing
know,
you.
I know.
Ah, whatever. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. You guys, thanks for coming in. Anthony John, Luxury Real
Thanks
Estate
for having
Team.
us.
They're an awesome group. You got to check them out. Definitely want to thank them for coming on there. We got Beck Caputo coming up with sports next. What else we got, Beck?
Listen, we're just excited to be here. We like to bring in our guests. I had a great time. This was a great show.
All right. Keep
I
it here on
agree.
97 on the ticket. For Becky Ellie, I'm Harvey Freed. See you next Saturday.